2 minutes. So hang tight, grab something to drink, get comfy. And if your kids are with you, they can come have a seat with you on the couch as well. This is a family-friendly show. And I'm so glad that you're joining me today. We're going to be talking all about motherhood. My sister is going to be joining me midway through the program. And we're going to talk about siblings and how your family makeup is changed by siblings and the demographics with your family and how our own relationship as siblings affected how we started our own families and how many kids we decided to have. And of course, the idea of mentor moms. My sister is older than me, so we're going to talk about that as well and how that plays a major role in my parenting as well as the parenting of other people. And mentor moms are so important in everybody's life. So welcome to the Break from Moms. Thank you for joining me today. I was talking to myself and those that would be watching the archive video. So I'm going to start over again because I didn't catch the moment when I actually went live. So if you're just joining, thank you so much for taking a break from your day to spend it with me. And today is going to be a special show. My sister, Deanna, is going to be joining me about midway through the program. And we are going to be talking all about parenting. And we're also going to be talking about our relationship as siblings and, you know, growing up, how our relationship as siblings kind of impacted what we decided to do when we were planning our own families. So it's going to be a really interesting topic, and we'll probably cover the birth order thing a little bit. If you've read any books on birth order, it's very, very interesting. And I think that has a lot to do with how we operate the way we do as sisters. And of course, my sister is a lot older than me, so she also serves as a mentor mom. So we're going to talk a little bit about that topic and the idea of having a mentor mom of your own. I think that every younger mom needs to have one and have people in their lives that can help to influence them and be there to answer questions and just be someone to fall back on and not feel like you're doing it alone, because no one has all of the answers to parenting. You need to learn from other people. So mentor moms are very, very important. And I talk a lot about the moms group that I belong to in my area. And we have mentor moms that are a part of the group. And that really changed my perspective on parenting, having them be a part of the group and getting to know these more seasoned moms just was really, really encouraging for me. And it continues to be encouraging when I run into them and they say, how are you doing on the journey? And they ask me questions and they tell me, you know, I've been there and this is what worked, this is what didn't work, but hang in there. You know, it gets easier, or, you know, depending on which season you are in within your parenting, whether you have little kids or you've got older kids, there are different seasons. But it's nice to have people that are your friends that have already gone through that season so you can learn from them and hopefully maybe save yourself from maybe making some mistakes that they felt they made. And not to say that it's a mistake, but maybe just to save you from, I don't know, not knowing what to do, because sometimes as parents, we don't always know what to do. And if we had someone else behind us to just kind of help us and guide us, I think it would make parenting a little bit easier. Not to say that we make mistakes, but it's always nice to make things a little bit easier on everybody, right? And that's what this show is for. So let's lighten things up a bit. I want to tell you about my weekend. I don't know how many of you have ever done sign painting, but it's kind of a really popular thing, at least in my area. I'm from Metro Detroit, and we have this place called Painting with a Twist, which is not where I went, but there is another place where a local mom started. It's kind of like a nonprofit arts and crafts place for people to go to in a nearby city. And I went there with a friend and we did sign painting similar to this Painting with a Twist business. And I used a power sander for the first time. I am not a power tools person at all. So of course, you know, this woman is telling me, okay, you know, you can sand your wood, your sign before you start painting it. And she kind of just points to the power sander, and I'm just standing there wondering what to do because I never operated any power tools. So, you know, I'm looking very awkward, like I need help. And I said, you know, I don't know what to do. I've never operated one of those. So she said, okay, here, I'll show you. Here's the button. And then of course I'm hitting the button and it doesn't turn on. And I'm looking around to see if anybody else is noticing that I'm completely awkward because I've never used power tools before. And then I said, well, should I be using goggles or something? You know, is this going to get in my eye? I'm like totally nervous about handling this tool. I'm thinking I'm going to end up cutting one of my fingers off. She said, can't hurt yourself with it at all. But because I do wear contacts, she did give me some goggles, so I felt much better. But it was so freeing when I turned it on and I started sanding this piece of wood. And I was like, yeah, I can do this, because I have no confidence in myself whatsoever when it comes to doing anything handy. I just never learned those skills. So it was on my bucket list, and I kind of feel like I could check off a box that, hey, you know, I use a power sander, so I can probably start using other power tools, and maybe I could just watch some YouTube videos and figure out how to do a few things around the house. That would be very powerful for me, because I feel kind of helpless that I don't have those skills. So anyhow, give me a like if you are a mother who uses power tools. Yay, mom power, right? Okay, pardon me, I'm gonna take a drink of water. I'm trying to hydrate. I actually have stickers on my planner that keeps track of how many glasses of water I drink per day. So I'm gonna try to keep track today. So I'm super nervous because I started this new business. I've been mentioning it on the show. It's called Clever Container. I don't know how many of you have heard of it. It's a direct sales company. And I wanted to start something on the side while I'm building the show here, just another stream of income. So I'm selling these organizing products, and I'm having my first Facebook party for this company. And I've never done a Facebook party as somebody running the party. I've been to Facebook parties for LuLaRoe and other direct sales companies, but I've never run one myself. So I'm doing it tonight. I'm a little bit nervous, but interestingly, my friend is coming over. My friend Kara, who hosted with me a couple weeks ago when we did the show on Playdates, she is going to be hosting with me this Facebook live party. I don't know how many people have ever done a Facebook live party in the sense that there's live video, since that's my area of expertise. And my friend Kara is great at it too. If you didn't catch the video of my friend Kara and I hosting the show, go back a couple weeks. It's to the one about Playdates, or go to the blog, www.thebreakformoms.com, and click on where you see the blog post. It says read. Click on that, and it'll have a pull down menu of different subjects. And one is show resources. And that, of course, is blogs and videos related to the show. So you can click on that and then scroll down to where you see the one with me and my friend Kara's labeled Playdates and how to have a great playdate. Or you can simply go to the website, my blog, again, www.thebreakformoms.com. And if you don't want to read anything, you just want to watch, click on the top menu. One of the tabs is watch. So click on that item and it'll pull down all the archived show videos. That's the quickest way to get to videos. And you can scroll down and you'll figure out which one is which, because they're all titled. So look for the one that has Playdate in the title. Anyhow, my friend Kara and I are hosting a live video Facebook party. And the reason we are doing that is because her son came down with the chicken pox. We had all these people coming to her house for this party. And then, of course, you know, it makes sense that people wouldn't want to be exposed to the chicken pox. Not everybody wants to be exposed to that, even if you've been vaccinated. So we are doing the party live at my house so that everybody can still kind of be with us and see us, but, you know, not be exposed to the chicken pox. So wish us luck. I'm a little bit nervous about it, but I'm kind of excited. I hope people show up. I'm going to be calling people to make sure, because I don't know about you, but sometimes when I get Facebook invites, I feel like it's impersonal and people tend to just ignore them because they think, oh, well, I'm sure that person invited 50 other people. They don't care. They're not going to notice if I'm there or not. And then they just don't respond. So we are calling people to make sure that they come to this party. Anyhow, if you want to learn more about Clever Container, I started a Facebook group where I'm going to be sharing more organizing tips, just like the ones that I am sharing on the show, which I'm going to get to that segment in a minute. You can go to www.facebook.com, or, you know, just go to Facebook, and it's /groups/get organized with Nicole, Nicole. And I'm going to tell you again at the end of the program how you can get to that group. It's a private group, but I share organizing tips, and then I share products that I have at home and that are featured with the company, sale items and whatnot, that are going to help you get organized. Because, oh my goodness, as a mom, I feel like sometimes life is chaos and I need to get more organized. That was my goal at the start of this new year, and I am sticking with it. So much so that I started this company. Well, I didn't start the company, but I started with this company to influence myself and help others to get organized. I'm so excited about it. So let's talk about getting organized. Okay, how is your car looking these days? Your automobile, your van, your SUV, whatever you drive. If you're like me and you got multiple kids, you might be driving a minivan. I never thought I would drive a minivan, but I am driving a minivan and I love it. It has power doors and it is amazing. Anyhow, it is a mess. And it is a mess because when my kids are in the car and they open any kind of food, or not even food, because I don't let them eat in the car that much, but just, you know, wrappers from school bags, or, you know, we go to the toy store or something, they open a package in the car, whatever the case may be. There seems to always be little pieces of paper all over the floor, straws if they drank something when we were driving and if we picked up fast food. Or I'm smiling because my sister's getting ready to come on with me. Or don't take my picture. She's taking my picture. One thing you will learn about my sister is she is always taking pictures. So she can talk to you about, I should have her on for another segment about preserving family memories. Anyhow, I feel like I'm talking too much and I need to keep going before she comes on here. Okay. So sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Okay. So organizing the car. Here are some products. This one is called Backseat Entertainment, and it's made by the company Clever Container, as I mentioned to you. And this can simply go on your headrest, okay? And this can keep things organized, such as your kids' toys, instead of them throwing them on the floor. Kleenex, right here, I love this. Look at it, it's got the pocket for your Kleenex. So you can Velcro it here, put your Kleenex box inside there, and you can simply pull the tissue out there. This is wonderful, seriously. Little pockets for tiny things. Or, you know, if you want to use it for business items, it's the perfect size for business cards or whatever you might want to store off of your seat that you don't want on the floor. Kids' toys, books, you name it, it's there. And this is divided too, which is really, really nice. Made really, really nice. And there's a variety of prints. This one is called Modern Links. So it's kind of, it could be a masculine pattern. It's got blue in there. Anyhow, I really, really like this one. So these are products that I personally have bought for me. Now this one is super cool because it goes all along the back. So like if you have a van or an SUV where you've got those seats in the back, you can hook this all along the back. So you could have, oh, I can't even show you how long this is. It's so long. Whoa. Okay. So you could do like a survival kit or, you know, first aid kit. You could have paper towel. You could have wet wipes or Clorox wipes. You could have a blanket in there, maybe your kids' winter apparel for when it gets really cold and you need that if you are in a cooler climate like I am. If you're in California right now, as many of you are, then you're probably looking at me thinking, well, why do I need winter apparel? Well, I guess it depends where you are in California, right? Because some areas of California have cooler weather this time of year, right? I don't know much about California. I've never been there. So maybe somebody could call in and tell me, what is the weather like in California right now? I know that you are 3 hours behind, so good morning to you. Thank you for sharing your morning with me if you're on the West Coast. Okay, so this one's called Cargo Pockets. Again, the design is Modern Links, and it's so cool because it's got these straps that are adjustable, so you can just hook it along the headrest in the back. It's awesome. Okay, so again, I bought this. I cannot wait to put it in my van. I will have to post pictures on my blog of what it looks like with stuff in it. And you can do so much with this. If you're a crafter, if you're on the go with a business or, you know, whatever, your kid has soccer practice and you want to put all their soccer gear or something in there. It's just great to get it off of the floor. Okay, now going back to trash all over the floor in your car. So my kids don't have a place for it, right? So you can't blame them for throwing things on the floor. If there is no garbage can, where are they going to put it? They have to put it somewhere. Well, now I have a solution for you. How many of you actually have a trash bin of some sort in your vehicle? Probably none of you. If maybe one or two of you, most people don't. I don't. But now I do. This is going in my van today. After the Facebook party, of course, because I have to show everybody there about this. Okay, so this is basically a trash bin. And you can hook it to your headrest. And it is lined, so you can just kind of wipe it with a damp cloth. It's called the No Leak Litter Bag, again in that same pattern, Modern Links. But there are cute feminine patterns, or you can get basic black or like a grayish black camo print. Anyhow, this is awesome because what you could do is you could have one in the front, you could have one in the back for your kids, and then your kids have to be responsible to put their trash in here. And then the tip is that every time you go and pump gas, you need to empty this out. That way you have a regular scheduled time where you're going to empty that trash. But I guarantee if you do this in the front of the back of your car, all those used water bottles that are empty, napkins, wrappers, you name it, papers, loose papers, maybe you checked the mail on your way, pulling in the garage and the mail, junk mail is sitting in your car, just throw it in here. And then it's not on the floor. And that's easy. You don't have to do anything different. It's just that now you have a place for it instead of the floor. So anyhow, this is called the No Leak Litter Bag. And if you're interested in ordering any of these items, I'm going to tell you what the website is. It's www.clevercontainer.com/Nicole, Nicole. And so you can order directly through my website for the company, and it'll get shipped directly to you. There is a $7.95 minimum shipping charge, so you might want to get more than one thing so you get your money's worth from that shipping. Anyhow, again, if you want to learn more organizational tips from me and learn a little bit more about some of these products, come join my Facebook group. It's so fun. And I'm going to be having some giveaways and fun mystery hostess party down the road through this group once I get to my first 100 members, and I'm getting close. So on Facebook, or you can go to the link www.facebook.com/groups/get-organized-with-Nicole, Nicole. So there you have it. I'll post all of this on my blog, and I'll tell you how to get to that again at the end of the program. All right, so it is 1:17 my time, Metro Detroit. So I have a few more things to cover before my sister joins me. Oh, I want to show you one more product. This is called the Tote on the Go. I don't know if I showed this on the program at all, but I have to show this too because it's cute. And this is another one of the clever container patterns. It's called Pop Dot. So if you're looking for something cute and feminine, that's more of a feminine design. So you could use this for business supplies on the go. You could use this as like a on the go mini diaper bag. But the cool thing is it's flat. So it can rest along the back of one of the seats of your car, hang along the headrest. And you can also put this flush against your stroller and hang it off the stroller. So if you have a stroller like me, I have a Combi one, and it's got this teeny tiny little basket. I can't put anything in it. And I don't have any kind of organizing system for that. I know you can buy at Babies R Us, Bye Bye Babies. They have stroller organizing bags or, sectional things that you can buy. But this is an option too. And, there's like area for a bottle or a drink right there. Both sides have mesh pocket, and it's got a drawstring so you can size it so that things stay in there. This area is divided with two pockets. Oops. And then there's this flat area here. So if you have papers that you want to keep flat and you don't want things getting folded, a magazine, or, even your tablet, if you have an iPad or possibly a small laptop, it would have to be a smaller one. And then there's multiple pockets here, and this one's divided too, which is awesome. So there's a bunch of little pockets. And again, it's flush. So you can, have it flush against your stroller, your car seat, or even a wheelchair. I'm sure you could come up with some other uses for it. Anyhow, this is called the Tote on the Go. Tote on the Go. There's the measurements for you. Okay, so those are some tips about getting organized and things you can do while you're on the go and in the car. All right, so let's talk about the National Calendar Day. I've been talking about this as a new segment. I think it's fun. I don't know. I think it's funny to talk about whatever the national holiday is of the day, because there's all these crazy holidays that you would never think are actually a national holiday, but they are. So today, one of them is National Dress Day, National Oreo Cookie Day. I can't remember the other ones, but I'm going to talk about Oreo cookies for a minute. So I've been looking on Pinterest every week to find ideas related to whatever the national holiday is. And I saw this really, really cool one for Oreos. And it's related to teaching your kids the phases of the moon phases. And it shows literally like different Oreos. Okay, so you take the top off. So it's just like one half of the Oreo with the cream. And then you shape the cream so that, it's a full moon, and then you take some of the cream off to show, all the way to crescent. I don't remember all the names of the phases of the moon, but, like the half moon all the way to the crescent. And you could do that with Oreo cookies and the cream. What a neat idea. So I'm going to post all that, or pin it, I should say, on Pinterest. I'm new to Pinterest, so I don't know all the Pinterest lingo, but I'm going to share some of the best ideas I found on Pinterest for Oreo cookie day and maybe dress day. I like to wear dresses once in a while. I don't wear them as much now that I have little kids and I'm not working outside of the home. I don't sit in my pajamas all day, but I'm not wearing dresses at home because I don't want them to get ruined. So I'm not sure what I would share about dress day. I'll have to think about that. Anyhow, a thank you to those of you that are watching currently and giving me those thumbs up. Keep them coming, keep them coming, keep them coming. So I'm looking to grow the show, of course. So I want you to share the Break for Moms with anyone else that you know that is a mom to be, or a caregiver of any kind to children. And speaking of caregivers, last week on the show, I had someone special, Sasha Gray, and she talked about the role of grandparents as caregivers, as primary caregivers raising their grandchildren. Such a fascinating topic because there are a growing number of grandparents that are raising their grandchildren for a variety of reasons, either because parents are working all day and a lot of grandparents are just, people are living longer. Grandparents are in better shape than they used to be. So they're able to care for their grandchildren while their son or daughter goes to work. Or maybe they are the primary caregiver and the parents aren't around for whatever reason. There's a variety of reasons why a grandparent might be raising a grandchild or caring for them part-time or full-time. So you can watch last week's episode. It's right here on Bidchat in the archived videos under full broadcast. Or again, you can go to the show blog, which is at www.thebreakformoms.com. Make sure you use the number 4. And when you go there, you can just simply click on watch. And when you click on watch, it'll pull down all of the videos, as I mentioned earlier in the program. So anyhow, and you know what? I forgot to tell you that blog website, my website is actually right under my profile right here on Bidchat. So when you read the little description about the show here on Bidchat, it's listed right below that. So become a follower of the show here, and then you'll have access to whenever I go live. You'll get a notification to your phone or on your computer. And all you have to do to become a follower of the show is to click on the heart icon. So look for that right now and click on it. I would love to have you follow the show so that you don't miss any future episodes. And if you are not normally available at 1 p.m. Eastern time, that's 10 a.m. if you're on the West Coast, then of course, subscribe to the blog and you will never miss an episode because the weekly video and blog post will be sent directly to your inbox. However, I am going to give a little disclaimer. I've got 3 little ones at home, age 5, 3, and 19 months. So lately, I've been getting a little bit behind on the actual blogging. I always post the video weekly, but I'm getting a little bit behind because I'm sharing so many more resources now on the show, and I want to share those on the blog so that people have access to them if they want to remember what I talked about on the show or look something up or purchase something or, go to an article that I reference. It's so much for me to do to type all that out, and I'm very meticulous. So I'm going to try to be good about doing it bi-weekly because weekly was just overwhelming me. I just couldn't do it with my kids running around. I don't have anybody else usually watching my kids. My sister's helping right now with one of my little ones, but normally it's just me and the kids. And my son, my oldest, is 5. He goes to kindergarten, but only 3 days a week. So most of the time, I have 3 little ones running around the house while I'm trying to run the show and do my side business with Clever Containers. So it's really hard. So if you are also a mom or caregiver of young children and you are trying to balance home life with working too, I get it. Please call into the show. I'd love to hear how you're managing because I'm really struggling with it. It might look like I have it all together right now, but it's hard. It's so hard. And trying to keep your house clean, do the laundry, spend time, quality time with your kids. I try to read with my oldest one every night because he's got this reading chart and we're supposed to read for 20 minutes a night. So I'm trying to do that too. And also pay special attention to his siblings. It's just hard. It's hard to manage it all. So I'm here for support on the show. This is a chance for everybody to take a break from all of that and just enjoy coming together as moms and caregivers. If you're a dad, you're welcome to watch the show too. Most, if not all of the information is pertinent to any dad that is raising kids as well. It's not just for women, although occasionally I might talk about something that's a more feminine topic, but for the most part, it's parenting and tips that will help anybody. So please share the show. That's how it will grow. And I want to help as many people as possible because I think it takes a village to raise a child. And I hope that you agree with me on that. I think that most people would, that you can't do it alone. It's just too hard to do that. So if you're interested in calling into the show to chat with me live, did you know that Bidchat offers two-way live streaming? That means not only will you see me here in the picture, but you would also see yourself as a caller. Think Skype or a FaceTime call, video chat. So if you feel like you're brave enough to do that, which you should be, it's not a big deal. It's fun, actually. It would be so much fun if I had someone call in right now. I am really encouraging you to do that. It's free to do. I know that Bidchat says that you have to bid money to call in, but right now is a promotional period, so you don't have to pay any money. All you have to do is be watching the show from the Bidchat app. So if you are currently watching from the website, if you're on your computer, you cannot call into the show. The availability to do that is not there. The feature is not working as of now. Eventually, I'm sure that will happen, but for right now, you have to be using the Bidchat app. So give me a thumbs up right now if you are watching from the app. I need some feedback right now. So if you can click on the thumbs up icon right now, did you know you can give me up to 5 thumbs up per day? So if you gave me 1, you can still give me another one and it will show up. I'm looking at my screen right now. I see 63 thumbs up. You can give me another one, okay? This is for me to have data because I have no data whatsoever. I don't know who's watching. I don't know where you're watching from. I don't know what device you're using. So go ahead, keep them coming. Thank you. I see a thumbs up. So one person is using the app. If you are watching this right now from the Bidchat app, give me a thumbs up. Thank you. I see another one. Okay, so that's a few people. Anybody else using the Bidchat app? Give me a thumbs up if you are. This is data for me. Okay, so I'm going to assume that if you didn't just give me a thumbs up, that you are watching from the computer. So those few of you that gave me the thumbs up from the app, here's what you can do to call in. Okay, so you're seeing me right now. Thank you. I see another thumbs up. Okay, so you're seeing me on the main screen with the profile. Okay, underneath there should be like a circle that shows the Bidchat logo. It's a fancy bee. Click on that. Hit that right now, and it will bring up a pull down menu. And you're probably not going to see a bunch of prices because it's free right now. And then at the bottom should be like a little rectangular button that says join or bid to join. If you click on that, it will show you minutes and you can do up to 3 minutes today. And even if it shows a price, you don't pay anything. So you can go ahead and do that now and you'll call in and it will say, congratulations, you've won the bid. Of course, there is no bidding. There's no money involved. And there will be like a 1 to 2 minute delay and then you'll pop on the screen with me. So if you're in a place with good Wi-Fi, give it a shot right now. I would love to meet you and hear from you. That is what is going to make this show so much more fun because anybody can live stream on Facebook or YouTube, even Instagram and Twitter now are offering live streaming. But how many people can do two-way live streaming? I haven't seen it done yet anywhere else but on Bidchat. So you can be a part of history in the making. So call in right now. My sister's going to be joining me in a minute. So I'm going to wait 1 more second to see if anybody wants to call into the show. And then I'm going to bring my sister on. And of course, while my sister and I are chatting together about motherhood and siblings and mentor moms, the topic of mentor moms, you can still call in if you have a question for me or my sister, or you just want to call in and say hi. That works as well. Whatever you want to do, we're so flexible. We're just moms having fun, hanging out. And my 3-year-old is going to be watching a cartoon on TV while my 19-month-old is taking a nap. And my son is at kindergarten right now today. So we're just going to be real casual here. It's okay. If you're in your pajamas and you want to call in or you don't have makeup on, that's fine. Okay. I'm hosting the show and I share across social media. So of course, I'm going to want to do my hair and put something nice on. But that doesn't mean I'm expecting other people to be completely polished when they call in. So keep that in mind. It's not scary, I promise. It's so fun. Think people just chatting and having a good time and meeting on social media. How cool is that? Okay, I'm going to call my sister to come on. Come on, Deanna. Either way, just watch the cord so you don't trip. We don't want you to trip on live video. Okay, so my sister Deanna is coming. Okay, careful. Watch your step. I got lots of stuff here. It's close because I want us to be close to the video. Meet Deanna. This is my sister. And I'm going to scoot in so we can see you. So it's interesting because she's not only my sister, but she serves as a mentor mom as well because we're 12.5 years apart. So I don't know how many of you who have kids maybe have kids that are spaced apart more, but Deanna or I would be a great person to ask about what that's like as kids get older, because when I was little, my sister was already busy in high school and she got married when I was 7. So, you know, the dynamics were different than the typical siblings because we were spaced apart more.
Sometimes they call that second childhood.
Right.
Or it's like 2 sets of kids, except we only have 1 and 1.
Right. So it says in the birth order book, if you've read one of those books, that I'm like the baby of the family, but yet I'm also like an only child. Exactly. So I have those characteristics too. Exactly. But wouldn't you say for you, I know for me, because I kind of felt like I was an only child, and you felt that way too for so many years, that it made you want to have more kids?
Absolutely. So, you know, growing up, I always wanted brothers and sisters, and I was so excited when you came, but you were a baby. So I was kind of like a second mom more than a sibling, because it wasn't going to be a little bit before you caught up or could do the things. So I had the really exciting experience of taking you around, especially as you got a little older. You were like that really, really cute little sister that everyone wanted to see. But I never had a sibling close in age to kind of do all those traditional sibling things. So I've got 3 girls, and I had 3 within 5 years. So they're pretty close together, and they get to have that closeness that we didn't get to have, but different experience. And I feel really blessed that they have each other and got to do the things that we missed growing up.
Right. And I have 3 kids too that are close in age. So obviously we were influenced by feeling like we kind of missed out with the whole sibling thing, you know, because we didn't get to play together, so to speak. When I was ready to play, she was ready to get married.
I think if we talked about how we kept ourselves busy, we probably had a lot of the same things. I had a lot of stuffed animals and toys and ways to keep us busy without having a sibling around. But I always wanted one earlier, so we were just blessed to finally get you. I would take one whenever I could. So.
Yeah, so if you know, maybe have one child and maybe they're older and you're thinking about having another child, of course we don't want to discourage anyone. It's great, you know, because for my sister, it was like so exciting to finally get that sibling because she had been waiting for so long.
Right. So when I think of when my first daughter was born, so you were 12 when I was born, and my first daughter was born when you were like between 12 and 13.
Yeah.
So our joke was a baby comes around every 12 years.
Right. So next it's going to have to be my oldest niece, not me. I'm done.
And for our mom, you know, my girls are older and your kids are younger. So it's kind of like a do-over in that way for grandparenting. There was this long gap of child raising when my girls were growing up, and now we're starting again. All the cute and fun things with little kids at the holidays and Easter. And my girls get to join in the fun, kind of taking care of them and seeing what it's like to have little kids around again.
Yeah, so it's kind of, in its own way, it's worked out nicely.
Yes.
To kind of spread the love versus, you know, when they're close together, then I feel like, oh, with my kids, when they have kids, they're going to be fighting over visiting grandma and grandpa, and I'm going to be like, whoa, I can't babysit all of you at the same time. It's going to be like a lot of grandkids.
And I think people do take it for granted when there's lots of kids running around, where we were really excited again to start again.
Right, right. So let's talk a little bit more about the topic of mentor moms, because I know for me, I instantly had you as a mentor mom because you were already way ahead of me. But what did you do? Because back then when you had your kids, I was busy teenager and college student, and, you know, I was kind of around and kind of not around.
Well, I know something you mentioned that we have something in common is I was in a mom's club group when I was a young mom, and I moved to a new area and I got to know a lot of moms that were going through the same thing as me. So a lot of it was about kids playing together, but a lot of it was also about learning from each other and asking those questions. I remember going to some hospital classes when my babies were first born, and maybe I was having an easier time than they were, but I at least got to hear what their experiences was to say, where do I fit in? Is it harder? Is it easier? I'm doing pretty good. And I just think of who you had on the show last week too, Sasha, and she really left me feeling like everybody's journey and path and decisions are a little bit different, but everybody kind of gets to the same place one way or another. So you can't really do it wrong. It's whatever works for you.
Right. I agree. And that's comforting. This is my 3-year-old. Can you say hi? Say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Can you tell them your name?
My name's Jada.
Oh, you do this so good. See,
Hi, Nana. She's watching.
Yeah, so Nana is our mom. So hi, Mom, if you're watching.
And I would say hi to Olivia and Colette. They're at home watching.
Yes, call into the show if you can, if you're using the app. And give us a thumbs up, because not only does a thumbs up give us instant positive feedback, but it also helps the Break for Moms to trend higher within the Bidchat website and app so that more people can benefit from our show and the topics that we share. And that's, of course, the main goal, is to help as many moms and caregivers as possible so that they have the support they need. You want to say something else fun? We're talking about National Oreo Cookie Day. Do you know what Oreo cookies are?
Yeah.
We haven't bought those in a long time. Do you like cookies?
Yeah.
Do you like to crunch the cookies and eat them, or do you like to lick the cookies if there's cream inside? You like to lick the cream. Yeah, a lot of kids like to do that. My kids like to do that kind of stuff with cookies. Kind of makes the cookie last longer, right? Speaking of Oreo cookies, what's your favorite Oreo cookie recipe?
Anything that's a pie with an Oreo crust. You can't go wrong. There's so many recipes with puddings and whipped cream and cream cheese. And I find myself getting a lot of recipes on Facebook where they have the video. When I'm in the grocery store, I literally watch the video to see what ingredients I need to buy. I take it home and I watch the video while I'm making it. And it's worked out so much easier than the cookbook recipe cards and things that I tend not to.
Yeah, what's the video, those fancy videos? Is it Tasty?
Tasty
Yeah,
would be
those
my
are
favorite.
so cool.
Do you want me to get her back in the other room
I
real
think
quick?
it's okay. Do you want to go watch a cartoon?
No.
Or do you want to just stay sitting with Mommy? I can show you this. Do you want to see this? We've got our scholastic.
Book club.
I'm picking out something for my son's birthday from here. He wants a math game. My son loves math. Okay, so let's move into the organizing segment. I talked about organizing your car. How do you keep things organized with 3 kids, multiple activities, and trash accumulation?
Yeah, I was telling you earlier, get everybody involved. Everyone's responsible for their own messes and trash. Have all your kids, no matter what age, do something to contribute, whether it's holding onto the bag while the older kids fill it. It's okay to have a messy car. We're not saying, there's times, but you can find your stuff easier and be on the go faster if you clean it out occasionally. For us, we have a lot of sinus issues, so everybody has a tissue for one reason or another, and the tissues pile up, and the wrappers from cough drops pile up. So I do ask my kids, they're a little bit older now, but I still have to ask them, please clean up your mess before you get out of the car. They're driving. We drink a lot of water bottles, so we have empty water bottles because we don't want to just throw them away. We're trying to be good, recycle them, but we need to all help take them out of the car.
Yeah, so you could even have one bag for trash and one bag for recycling in your car too.
Right, exactly.
What do you see in here? Do you see a book that you like?
Yeah.
What's this one? Alvin and the Chipmunks. Oh, a book about Alvin and the Chipmunks. My kids like Alvin and the Chipmunks. And they like the movies that you got them. We watch them all
classic
the time.
Everyone
And the music
loves
videos. We pull them up on demand on the TV to watch the music videos. So yeah, having something in your car just to keep the trash. And I think for me, we probably should have one just for recycling because we do accumulate a lot of bottles.
And when you have a group of kids, it's important to just train. All the time you're teaching them the things you want them to help with, and then they will do it more readily if they've been trained and taught along the way.
Right.
It won't be such a big deal to ask them to help if they've been doing it all along.
And you want whatever you teach them in the house to carry over into the car. Otherwise, then they're not going to clean the house because they think they can keep the car a mess. So
and sometimes a bigger car is just a bigger mess.
Yeah. So we want to know what you have to say about your car or about having mentor moms in your life or siblings. Tell us about your siblings, or maybe you have questions as you're raising your own family with how you are going to help your kids to get along as siblings, and regardless of whether they're close in age or they're further apart in age. I know a lot of my friends have lots of concerns because now the trend is to have kids a little bit closer. That seems to be what most people my age want to do. But for the ones that can't or are having trouble getting pregnant, they're like so upset, like, oh my goodness, my kids are 4 years apart. What am I going to do? I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's not
I
a
was
bad
just
thing.
thinking of something too to share, that a lot of people always told us when our kids were little is, boy, wait till they're older. Or you have 3 teen girls, how awful it was going to be. Or do they fight? And we constantly fought against the grain to just make our kids love each other. It doesn't always come naturally. And you have to remind your kids to be kind to each other, that your sister or brother is your best friend. Look out for each other. That's part of training too, because I think society almost wants to say, oh, it's normal for you to fight with your sibling, or it's normal for them to act out with their hands and maybe a little rougher than you want them to be. But I think if you train them to be loving, you want that. Don't give in to the norm of, oh, it's just boy behavior. Oh, it's just sibling rivalry. You know, try to enhance their attitudes and behaviors towards each other. If that's something that you want to see, don't give up.
Yeah, I think that's a good tip because I get that a lot from people too. Or just even the negative, oh, wow, 3 close in age, you must really have your hands full.
Right. Encourage moms who have their hands
Why
full.
can't they just say, oh, good for you?
Don't acknowledge the obvious. Or
And I laugh. I think it's cute. I like
Right.
the attention. But
right.
anyhow, I think Gianna might be getting into some
Okay.
trouble. So
I
maybe
will
check her
head
out
over
and
there.
then come back on. Thanks for joining. Yay!
All right,
Everybody give thumbs up for my sister Deanna.
Thank you.
That was great for her to join us. We got 101 thumbs up. So I'm so glad that she could join us today. I'm so glad she got to come to visit because she doesn't live super close. So her visits are special whenever she takes the time to drive out to my house. We're about an hour apart, which is not that far away. But, you know, when you've got kids and you're managing different schedules, sometimes it's hard to get together. So I'm so glad she got to join me today. And I'm sure eventually I'll get my mom on here. Right, Mom? If you're watching, give me a thumbs up. You can give up to 5 per day. So keep them coming. Okay, I'm going to scoot closer because I feel like I start getting too far away here. So I would love to hear from you again. I'm going to tell you one more time how you can call into the show. If you are currently on the Bidchat app, then this information is for you. If you are on the Bidchat website via a computer or, you know, a laptop, you cannot call into the show. That's because the feature is not available yet. But on the mobile app, whether you are on an iPad or on another tablet or your smartphone, if you are currently watching from the Bidchat app, here's what you can do. You need to make sure you have your account set up, which I'm assuming that you do automatically when you download the app. And all you have to do is click on below this video where you see me right now. There is a circular icon with the fancy B, the Bidchat logo. If you click on that, it will open up a little menu, and you probably won't see a bunch of different prices because right now it's a promotional period and it's free to call into the show. But when you click on that, you will open up an option way at the bottom, a little rectangular button that says, I believe, either join or bid to join the show. Whatever that button at the bottom is, click on it. And then you'll see plus or minus with number 1, and you can go up to 3 minutes to call in. So you can call in for 1 to 3 minutes. And it might list a price, but it doesn't cost anything. It's free today. So you can go ahead and do that. Click that button. And in a minute or 2, your call will go through, and it will look like a FaceTime or Skype call. And you will see me, and you will see yourself in the corner. And it's so much fun. It's a great way to interact with people on social media and meet other people. So I would love to see who else is watching the show and meet you and hear about your mom's story. Or if you're a caregiver of any kind, like to hear what your role is in the lives of children. I know there's a lot of people that watch that are also broadcasters on Bidchat. So if you are just checking out my show as another broadcaster, I'd love to have you call in so we can give a shout out to your show and advertise for your show as well. We all have to be in this together. Live streaming is so much fun, and I want to help the other shows on Bidchat grow as well. So please share my show with others. I will help to share your show. And of course, anyone that calls into the show, you are free to call in and talk about a specific business that you have that maybe you want to market to other moms and caregivers of children. So please feel free to do that as well. Or you can reach out to me via email at Nicole, Nicole, at thebreak4moms.com with the number 4. That's my email. If you email me, I will get back with you right away, and we can chat about you being on the show via the option to call in on the Bidchat app. So I hope to hear from you. Thank you for the additional thumbs up. And we've got about 15 minutes left of the show. So I'm just going to kind of chat with you about some casual topics here today because I have run out of information. I did not do a ton of planning for this show because I planned so much last week when I had my special guest on the show. So I'm running out of ideas here. So I'm just going to talk to you a little bit about my week and what's going on here in little Michigan. So I told you earlier in the program about how I used my first power tool, power sander, and I made something. I can't say what it is because it's a surprise for somebody that may be watching. But I used a power sander and I made a sign. And it was very, very freeing for me to use this power tool because I have never used anything like that. I'm not a handy person. So anyhow, that was what I did on my weekend. I went to a mom-to-mom sale and I worked as a vendor for the company that I told you about, Clever Container, and that was interesting. And I tried to get some people to come to my table, and not a ton of people came to my table, which was kind of disappointing. But I had this giant dice. Do any of you have giant dice? I went to Five and Below. Love that store because everything's $5 and below. And I bought this giant dice to kind of lure people to come over to my table by playing a game and offering a raffle. So kids, of course, were wanting to roll this large dice. And when I got home, my kids were wanting to play with it. It was so much fun. If you're looking for a good way to teach math skills to your kids, or you want to play games with your kids and they aren't interested in playing games, maybe purchase a large dice set. And by large, I mean like one that's like this big. One piece is that big. And you could get two of them separately. But they have them in a ton of different colors at Five and Below. And my kids were all about it. They didn't even care about actually playing a game. Although what we did was, and this was so much fun. So my kids like to do things with pillows. We have a ton of pillows with our couches. So I set up kind of like a human game board, and I put the pillows and lined them up, and I made them roll the dice, and then they stepped so many pillows forward based on what they rolled with the dice. And, you know, one of our chairs was like the ending point. So I made it super easy because we didn't have enough pillows to make like a Candyland board or anything crazy like that. But, you know, you could take pieces of paper, just square pieces of paper, you know, and just set them up in the shape of a board, and they can maybe decorate each piece of paper. So it's like a piece on the game board, and then you can have this giant dice and roll it. And, you know, I made some of the pillows. I had some pillows that were plain and then some that had patterns on them. So if they landed on a pattern one pattern one was like you had to go backwards two, one pattern one was step forward one. And my kids loved doing that. They would probably do that all day if I had time to play that all day with them. So that's an idea for a fun game that you can play. It doesn't cost you much, just the price for the dice. And then if you have some scrap paper at home or whatever you have, you can even line up books on the floor and make them, you know, the game pieces. And then your kids physically move themselves according to what number they roll on the dice. So that's one of the fun things that we do at home. And my son likes to do it too and pretend it's Mario Brothers because we introduced him to my old Super Nintendo system. Would you believe I still have it saved from when I was a kid? And one of the games in the system, with the system that I bought, is a set of 5 Mario Brothers games, and they're all within the one game cartridge, which is really, really cool. So it's almost like I have the old Nintendo set, but I don't. It's Super Nintendo, but it has all the games. It has Mario Brothers, I think it's 1, 2, and 3. And then I also have Super Mario Brothers. So my son gets to play that with my husband as a treat once in a while. But so he's so interested in the game that he wanted to set up his own like fun live version of Mario Brothers within our family room. So, and then my 3-year-old wanted to be Bowser. So we set up, I have a blue blanket. So we made that the water, and then we put pillows in different places on the blanket to be like rocks that they had to jump from rock to rock. And then my 3-year-old was swimming in the water, and, you know, you had to get from rock to rock without getting hit by my daughter because she was Bowser. And then if she got you, then you were out of the game. So that was fun too. My kids eat up that kind of stuff. They love it. So there's so many creative things you can do with what you have at home. And I feel like versus going and buying new toys, kids just want to be creative. They just want you to get down on your hands and your knees with them. And sometimes I don't always make time to do that because I'm working from home too. And I've got 3 little ones. So I feel like I'm always tending to somebody else. Somebody needs fed. The baby needs change. Somebody's going down for a nap. And I feel like I never have time to just sit and play and really play and get down on my hands and my knees and play. So I encourage you to do that sometime this week. Do something fun. Make a tent. Make a human game board. I don't know, just do something, or take an old cardboard box and let your kids sit in it and color, or make a house or out of cardboard boxes, something that you have at home. Take your trash and make it into a treasure. Do something fun and hands-on with your kids, because most likely those are the things that they will really remember, especially, and take a picture of it. And then when they're older, they're going to look back on that and say, well, that was really fun. They're not going to care about the $5, $10, $15, $20 random toy that you bought them at Toys R Us. You might think that that's what they want, but they really just want you to get down on your hands and your knees and play with them. So I think that's my best tip of the day in terms of activities for your kids. And I'm just thinking about what I just naturally do at home, because I know what my kids like to do. They want me to play. If I just say, here, go do that. Even if I say to my son, go play with your sister, he doesn't want to do that. He wants me to play with him and his sister. He wants me to be a part of the fun. The minute I try to tiptoe and walk away and start working, they notice, and then they don't want to play anymore. They need to be guided. Kids need to be taught how to play. I didn't realize that until I sent my oldest to preschool, and the teacher told me, your child needs to be taught how to learn to play independently. They don't know how to do it. And my son had a hard time with the make-believe play and role playing. He didn't know how to do that. So I had to get down with him at his level and, take little characters or stuffed animals and make them talk to each other, or make them move around. Or, I've got my 3-year-old who has a dollhouse, and showing her what to do with the dollhouse. Otherwise, she's just, hitting buttons to make the sounds and putting people in and out a couple times, and then she's bored. And they're bored and they don't play independently because they just don't know what to do. So make sure you're taking time to show your kids how to play with what they have. You'll be surprised at how much longer they play if you show them what to do. And then you set a timer and you say, okay, for 5 minutes at first, you're going to play by yourself, doing what I showed you how to do. And then extend it to 10 minutes and then 15 minutes. So even if your child is not napping, you can designate a quiet time during the day where they play independently. But you got to start small, because they're probably not used to playing by themselves. Some kids are really good at it, some are not. But if you haven't taught them that skill, then you need to do that. So anyhow, I'd love to hear what you have to say about independent play. It's a really important topic, and it's one that I've enjoyed learning from others, especially my son and now my daughter. My daughter has moved on to preschool, so now it's her teacher, but they have a fabulous preschool teacher, and she taught me a lot about independent play and helping my kids to be able to do that. And, sometimes it takes that extra resource of, talking to a teacher. So I really encourage you to utilize that resource that you have with your kids. If they're not in school yet, then, when they do get to school, make sure you take advantage of that resource. Your kids' teachers are not only there to just teach them in school, but they can teach you a lot of tips that will help in general with behavior management at home and parenting in general, because they just have that background in childhood that maybe add some extra structure to what you're already doing at home. So don't feel bad about asking for help. That's their job, and you really will benefit from it. So if you can kind of put aside your ego and do that, it really, really will benefit you. And I guarantee that teachers aren't looking at you thinking, oh my goodness, this person asked for help. They don't know what they're doing at home. They're not thinking that at all. We always worry that people are judging us and thinking that, but tell yourself, everybody is way too busy with their own life to be thinking that much about you. Unfortunately, you're not that special. And I say that in a funny way. And I say that in the most positive way possible, that people are not thinking about every little thing you're doing wrong. They're not judging you as much as you think. They're just busy. Life is busy for everybody. So anyhow, I'm going to wrap the program up in about 6 minutes. Thank you for all those of you that gave me your thumbs up, and keep them coming. You could give me up to 5 per show. It's really, really motivating for me. It makes me feel really good about what I'm doing, because I'm on this mission to help other moms, because I was so positively impacted by my mom's group that I've been a part of, with the friendships that I've made and just the resources that have been available for me. It has really changed my outlook on motherhood, and it's made it a more positive experience for me, rather than, breaking down at the end of the day and feeling hopeless. Now, even though sometimes the days are really long and they're really hard, I still have hope, because I've learned from other moms and they've encouraged me. And of course, I'm a woman of faith, so I have hope from God as well. But regardless of your faith in your family makeup, know that there are other people out there that you can get encouragement from. And I hope that you'll utilize the show as a place to gain encouragement and gain resources and support. And I love to meet you. I love to be a friend to you. I love to make new friends on social media. It's so cool that we can do that in the 21st century. I mean, who would have thought? I would never in a million years have thought that I would be doing a live streaming show for moms and caregivers of children. I am a former teacher, so I do have a background working with kids. I do have a degree, so to some degree, I have expertise, but by no means am I an expert mom. I have so much still to learn. And I believe that I can learn from all of you as well. So if you have tips for me, you can share them with me by calling into the show. You can email me, Nicole@thebreakformoms.com. Make sure you use the number 4, and I spell my name Nicole. And of course, you can reach out to me through the show across social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and now Pinterest. At The Break for Moms. Make sure you use the number 4. And please subscribe to the official show website and blog at www.thebreakformoms.com. Again, with the number 4. All of the archived episodes of the show are on the website there. Under the heading at the top, there's a menu with 5 different headings, and one is Watch. If you click on Watch, it'll pull down all the shows for you. Now, if you want to read up a little bit more about the resources behind a specific show, then go over to where the blog is, which it says Watch, and then another area on the menu says Read. If you click on Read, that will pull up the different blog categories, and the top one is Show Resources. That's where you want to go. And not only will you get the video from each show, but you'll get a list of resources of things I mentioned on the show. So if I talk about Pinterest ideas, activities for your kids, recipes, I might have a Pinterest board that I post, or a link to purchase an item that I talk about that helps me, or information about a show guest, if you want to find more information about somebody that talked about a specific topic. So I share a lot of resources and actually type them out within the blog. I spend a lot of time doing that because I want the information to be there for you. So if you're watching the show and you don't have a paper and a pen, you can come back and you can get the information that you need. And you can share it with others too. So please, if you're reading the blog post, share them with others. If you see me share the archive videos on social media, please share them on your social media pages as well. That's what's going to help the show to grow, and I need you. I can't do it alone. You are all so important to me, and I thank you so much for taking a break from your day and spending it with me, because I know how busy all of you are. Being a mom, caring for children, working inside or outside the home, or even if you're not working, just being a parent alone is hard work, and it's a full-time job. So the fact that you're taking an hour from your day to spend it with me is just really means the world to me. So thank you so, so very much. I hope that you have a wonderful week. Know that I'm here for support. You can reach out to me at any time throughout the week. I'm always on social media trying to follow up with people. So if you send me a message, I promise I am going to respond, because I'm going to be so flattered that you reached out to me. And please consider downloading the Bidchat app so that you could call into the show in the future. Or if you want to be a special guest on the show with me, you can call in for a longer period of time and actually co-host with me. So for some of you, that might be a neat option to showcase your business, or just talk about an area of expertise that you have related to parenting and child rearing. So thanks again so much for watching. Thank you for all of the thumbs up. I am going to close out this broadcast in 2 minutes. So I'm going to kind of get ready to shut it off here. Thanks again for watching, and have a fabulous week. What else can I say? I'm running out of ideas. We got 1 minute left on the clock. I try to be exactly 1 hour, but please check out all the other great shows that are here on Bidchat. To be mindful of the time, I make sure that I stop exactly at 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's kind of cold, dreary day here in Michigan, so thanks for brightening up my day. And I will see you next week. Mark your calendar, next Monday, 1 p.m. Eastern time at Bidchat, The Break for Moms. See you then. Bye.